Hello, okay. Hello, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Tacito Curry. Let me get myself here. Okay. My name is Tacito Curry. I started my relationship with Schiller a few years even before I started. After I survived the World Trade Center, when I was there when the tower collapsed, I decided I wanted to be a global citizen. I wanted to understand why that happened in the first place, and I was looking for answers. And I started contacting, I was already, by that age, I had already studied everything. Typing, because at that time you needed to learn how to type fast. Swimming, acting, everything. At that time, I also finished my acting schools in New York and Los Angeles. I actually moved to New York from Brazil at the age of 17. And then I found Schiller, and I read the visions of Dr. Leibrush, and that struck me right off the bat, because he wanted to prepare people to become a global citizen, and that's exactly what I wanted. So, but for me, being an immigrant in the US, to move from New York to go all the way to Heidelberg, Madrid, Paris, and London, that was far from reality. So I worked very hard, waiting tables, doing everything to save my money. And I remember that I managed to open an account in Switzerland to save euros to come to Europe. That was my first international move. And then I got prepared and I went to, and I applied for Schiller and I had the brochure, 2004 or 2. And every day I looked through it, seeing myself as Schiller. So then I decided to come to Schiller, and I started off in Madrid. And I started off in Madrid. I stayed here for a while. Then I am one of the few students that have gone through all the campuses of Schiller. So because I wanted to learn all the languages. Today, I speak 6 languages. I have 7 master's degree. I was honored with a doctorate degree from a university. I have a global company, which I will come to it. But this whole started with Schiller. So then I went to Madrid. Then I moved to Paris. I loved the idea of being in Europe and learning all the languages. It was fascinating. And I remember when I was about to graduate from my first degree in international relationship and diplomacy, I said, I can't go back to the US now. I'm not still a global citizen. I still need more. So I applied for the MBA again at Schiller, and then I did it in London, and I did it in Heidelberg, when I had the pleasure to meet a few times Dr. Thomas. And then I said, okay, so I'm still not yet there. So after I moved to all the places, and then in London, I had to do my MBA, and then I had the option to write a project or to do my thesis. So I wrote a project, and then the project was, I wanted to come up with a global company in education, and I did the pilot project at London Center, and that was my first branch out of Waterloo. And I was such a distinguished student that I got a full scholarship for another postgraduate study. So I stayed a few years more, and I didn't finish. So then I actually left from New York, went to Europe just for 1 degree, and ended up getting 3. And then I opened my first businesses. But then I opened my first business, which is education. I take people who speak language like English, and I transform them into a teacher where I work with the GDS 14810, which I bring people who speak English, and I make them an English teacher, and I help them connect with jobs. So this is already my diplomacy. So I did not become an ambassador or anything, but I bring education together, and that's part of it. Just recently, today, I have a global company in 60 countries, and I have lots of ambassadors that do what I do. Just the other day, I had a conversation with the Taliban to allow us to run a course in Afghanistan, and this is for me diplomacy. Diplomacy doesn't mean you have to be a UN. You can start diplomacy from your house. You can start diplomacy walking on the street every day, and that's what I took after Schiller. And this is what happens. But I didn't stop there. After all of this, I challenged myself. During the pandemic, it was a hard time, and I decided to be a chef. I went to Le Cordon Bleu, and I became a chef. Because I didn't know how to cook anything, and I was not going to become good at it. So I needed to challenge myself, so I became a chef. And then I was in Paris, and I said, oh, now the challenge is what's going on, artificial intelligence. We need, because, there is the World Economic Forum just released a document in 2020 with the pandemic, saying that any technical ability that you have today, it doesn't last more than 3 years. You have to continue study. For me, studying is just not, I go around the world and lots of people ask me, do I still need to go to college? And I had that conversation before. Do I still need to go to college? I do TikTok and make 20 grand a month with TikTok dancing and all of that. You have 7 master's degree, all of this, what a waste. And I tell people every single time, and to the younger, because the hard challenge now we have as educators is to get the young people here. It's really a big challenge, especially the pandemic. And I tell them, look, if you can go to college, make it happen. Because the experience you're going to have here is for your lifetime, the connection, you go more in depth. But what you needed to have now is skills. Because as the OECD says, better skills, better life. And that journey that the World Economic Forum did was, so any skills in 3 years, whatever technical skill is not going to be good anymore because we don't know what is yet to come. So then I went to a FAPA communication school in Paris, and I did my other degree in digital marketing and journalism. So that was my last degree. And I'm already looking forward. After I came here and I saw the campus, I'm already getting it. I'm already looking. I'm already getting amazed what am I going to do next because we can't stop. So learning, it's not an option. It's just, I tell people, learning is like a lifestyle. Like you eat well, you do well. So this is a lifestyle, and that's what I take it. That's it. Thank you.